Hi, folks. This is something interesting I noticed about the baby ringnecks. They are so. The first one, the biggest one, hatched on Sunday. Today's Monday. Okay, so 1 week, and then the youngest one hatched on Tuesday. So almost a week. So basically, between 6 and 8 days. 6, 7, 8. Yeah, like a 3-day spread here. One of the things I noticed, this is so interesting. Watch how they line themselves up. This is so funny when it's time to eat. Now, okay, and here's the thing too. You can't see this, but I am dipping my fingers in a cup of warm water. That's why I'm always wiping their faces and keeping everything clean for them. But I noticed this. I've noticed this before, and I wanted to see if I could film it, how they will line themselves up, and I will spin this thing. Let's make sure I get the camera here. Oops, right. Okay. They line themselves up. Watch this. So, this is so cool. So, they line themselves up so they can, the tallest beak gets, you can just see how the biggest one, they line themselves up like a little trio, and now look at all these beaks kind of going towards the center. And this is so cool. They do this automatically. And then everybody's like, knows that they got to put their beak up to get the food. And now it's been a week, right? So they're kind of getting used to this syringe thing. Look at that little guy. He's like, look at, he's the biggest one. And if that's the mother, he's going to get fed the most until he's completely packed. Fortunately for me, I know the youngest one, and I make sure she gets hers. Come here, baby. But look how they got themselves lined up like a little trio, a little diagonal. That is so cool. It's like, oh, okay, when they're sleeping, they're all tangled up. But now they're all standing in their little respective little triangle. Look at that. Isn't that cool? This is just nature's way. It is so interesting. But they all line themselves up in a little triangle like that. Squeak to get the squeaky. What's that saying? The squeaky wheel gets the oil. That's right. That's right. That's the way it goes. So look at that. Look at how it's just like a little triangle. That is so cool. I can't believe it. It's so funny how they just automatically do that. I don't know. I don't know if you find that interesting, but I sure do. It's just like all these little things, you know, just little nuances of what's going on, you know. And so actually at one, you can see I think the eyes actually start to open at about 10 days. And if I leave the babies in until the youngest one is like 10 days old, but then the ones that are 2 weeks old are so fat, I cannot get a leg band on them. So for me, I can watch the leg bands go on right, you know, right around 2 weeks. Actually, I go by weight, and they hatch at 6 grams, and today I weighed them, and they're 14, 13, and 11. So that's just about double their weight in a week. Isn't that cool? baby ringnecks are just such an experience. And you can see there's an incubator behind them, and then it's got an egg in it. It's got that is a cockatoo egg, and it's got a pip through the shell. So it's that pip appeared yesterday, so I think that baby's going to hatch today. And then, meanwhile, while we're feeding these babies, I believe the parents are like, hey, what happened to my eggs? And they're going to be laying another set of eggs here pretty soon. As a matter of fact, I was in there yesterday, and they were both in the nest box. So, and that's been her pattern. It's interesting, this pair, I've had this pair since they were just well, not juvenile, but in other words, I had them for their first, as they matured, I had them for their first clutch. So they're still pretty young, and they're very healthy. And I feed them a good mix of a seed mix, a quality seed mix, and fresh fruits and vegetables. And ringnecks are good eaters, believe me. Feed them fruits and vegetables, because they will eat it down. Definitely keeps them a lot more healthy, and they'll eat everything. They love oranges, they love squash, sweet potato, just the frozen vegetables. They'll eat the corn, the beans, the peas, and anything else you put in there. I put in papaya the other day, and it's just like, it doesn't matter. It's all gone, except for greens. You know, I really don't concentrate on greens. I try to give the same vitamins from dark orange vegetables as opposed to greens. I do throw some greens in there sometimes, but it's kind of touch and go with that. Sometimes I'll throw in like mustard greens, kale. Kale keeps well for me, but I don't know that it's really high on their valued food list. Mustard greens, and collard greens. That's the other one I'm thinking of. And then sometimes I'll even throw in sliced jalapenos, and it's almost like, you know, just kind of whatever's in the fridge, really, you know, and whatever I kind of see when I go shopping. I was doing blueberries until they went up so much in price. They do like the blueberries too, but the price just raised so high on them. It's just like, okay, this is impossible. Try to get your vitamins from the cheaper foods that you can get, so you can be more sustainable with it, you know. So, all right, folks. Well, that's it for today. I just wanted to show you how they all line up to be fed, and see when they go to sleep, they all just kind of like bury each other, you know, and tangle up. So this thing of feeding, when they line up like in a triangle like that, it's completely natural and something that they do. It is just so cool. So, anyways, a little fun for today. So. I want to thank you for listening, and thank you for watching.